Hello there, welcome to another episode of World of Tanks with Ungainly Titan. We're here on Sand River, it's encounter mode. And it's, we're in the E25, the German premium tier 7 tank destroyer. It's a pretty strong tier 8 game, although there is a tier 4 tank on the enemy team. Failed platooned in. Panzer 38 in A, don't fancy being in that in this company. It's encounter mode, so the shortest distance between the two enemy teams is just to drive straight at each other, which has its merits, but does leave the southern end of the battlefield completely free sometimes, depending on what a particular team does. Now, there are a couple of us going south, which is better than none at all, but the bulk of the team seems to be inclined to go straight across the map, and it remains to be seen what the enemy are inclined to do, because sometimes you find that you go south and you're relatively unsupported and the enemy team comes south in fairly strong force. The thing about it is that the spawn location, or the capture location is very exposed, but it's selectively exposed. If your team is to the south and you're to the north, you can actually cap and be completely hidden, and vice versa, though it is probably easier to hide if your team is dominating the north on the northern side than to hide on the southern side, because it's not quite as low. Now, the enemy had moved in there, but as soon as they started taking fire, they pull out, which is a smart enough move. There's no point in hanging around the cap circle this early in the game. It does focus our team to actually pay attention to it, because obviously if we ignore them, we'd win the game. But as soon as they came under fire, they actually left the cap circle completely. For my part, as soon as I was spotted, I just moved away and got relocated until I was no longer spotted. I'm still trying to cover the cap circle because ultimately somebody else might try to cap. However, they used the Batchat 12T that was capping earlier on, and it's a fast-moving autoloader. It's a difficult tank to get a shot off on, but I've managed. But he is supported. There is somebody back there shooting at me, and I am spotted. So now that I'm spotted, can't see what's shooting at me, so I might as well move and go further into cover. So we know there's at least one enemy tank over on the western side of the map, and there's an E25 that's been spotted by our light tank heading over. Managed to get a hit off at this range. Quite difficult to hit a target at this range with one of these tanks. The gun it's okay, but it's not that good, you know what I mean. The dispersion is quite high, as you'll see later on. It can be a problem. Hitting targets, particularly ones that are require fairly precise shooting, can be a real difficulty at range with this tank. However, I better go and support my ally. While he has a strong advantage over a turretless tank destroyer like the E25 and a light tank, it's still well worth my while going and supporting him, because there's always a possibility there's another tank out there lurking in the sand dunes. Now the two E25s crashed into each other here, and I lost a lot of health. I'm still alive, but that has cost me significantly, and might not have been the best use of my hit points. I did try and avoid the collision. We're 2 tanks up at the moment, and we're heading strongly towards the enemy's spawn area. We have a medium tank at the edge of the cap circle as well, which is not a bad location. He's able to should be able to spot at least into the edge of the enemy base, and should be able to identify other enemy tanks for him. Now, I'm back at the back, so I'm just going to be in support fire. I won't be one of the guys leading the attack into the enemy base. We have managed to lose our artillery already at this point in the game too, probably from the guys that came down out of the mountains. Now, I'm not probably going to head much further north than here. I'll be in a position to cover the guys swarming in around the enemy base. And we have an IS-6. Now, the problem with shooting an IS-6 at this range is that the dispersion is a little too high to be precise. If I do manage to land a shot at the right angle, I can get a penetration, but the problem is that it's almost impossible to shoot weak spots at this range. I want to get it in either the flat sides under the tracks. The problem is I think that my shots are coming down, so probably in hindsight I'd probably been better off trying to shoot the roof of the turret or something like that, depending on the way the tank is angled. The sloped armour in the front, or the spaced armour above the tracks, is not going to be penetratable at this distance, even with premium ammunition. And I don't think regular ammunition would be a whole lot better, although it probably loses less penetration with range. And the situation that when we started coming back here is reversed. We're now the one that are tanks down. We're 3 tanks down. I do not, however, want to move further north because that, first of all, it takes me to low ground, so I won't get the firing position on the IS-6. And secondly, if there are other tanks backing them up on the ridgeline behind them, or at least where those tank destroyers in, if I go forward, I'm the one that's going to be exposed by with no cover, and I'm not going to have the armour to survive the attentions of those tanks. Now we have 4 tanks remaining, the enemy has 6, and there's a decided advantage on the enemy side as well. They're much heavier tanks. They have 3 heavy tanks, 1 light, 1 medium, and a tank destroyer, whereas we're 2 light tanks, 1 heavy, and a tank destroyer. And a tank destroyer with not a lot of health left. I'm heading back towards the middle of the map. I try to want to get a line of sight on the guys that are attacking the heavy tank. I want to try and keep him alive if I can, because he's probably the best bet of achieving something on our team. However, there's a lot of enemy tanks down there, this much I do know, and there is an IS-5. So we're putting some rounds into him. We managed to get a hit when we couldn't see him. We've managed to get a critical hit and some tracking shots, and he's taken some damage from our heavy tank that's down there. And there's another VK3601H down with him. So we should be able to get, if we can get a line of sight on him, we should be able to get some shots in as well. The VK has managed to do some more damage in the 3006. Well, we should be able to penetrate him. He's a tier 6, so we have the advantage on tier, and as long as he's not too steeply angled. Our heavy tank has been taken care of either by the 3601H or the other heavy tank that's remaining on the enemy team, which I think turns out to be a T-29. We still have the 2 light tanks, and they're both engaged over there as well. So we're now managed to pull the situation back a little bit. The enemy still has sort of throw weight on their side. Now, one was a light tank, so that looks like he's in trouble, and he's gone. And then there are 2 remaining enemy tanks left. However, we don't have a lot of health, and we've just lost one of our light tanks. So I need to pull forward because I can't see the remaining enemy tank. It's the T-29. I don't know where the medium guy is left. So I still can't see the heavy tank. The remaining light tank is running for cover. Understandable enough. Now I'm close enough to be able to see him. And I should be in a position where he doesn't really see me, so I should be able to put in a reasonable amount of damage here. We've tracked him again, which gives us further advantage, but we're running out of APCR. And we'll be down to regular ammunition, which is going to make it harder because the chances of penetrating are not quite as good. And we've managed to put a couple more rounds in there. However, the light tank is running into the medium tank in A44. And in a close quarter fight, well, it's kind of hard to say. The LTTB will have no trouble putting rounds through the armour of the A44, but the problem is, of course, you won't have the hit points to take the shots back. And the A44's gun, if it hits the LTTB, will do formidable amounts of damage. If I can stay undetected by the A44, on the other hand, I could probably do quite a bit of damage to it and make life a lot easier for the LTTB. So I've managed to get a couple of hits in. I've added another one there, but it looks like we're increasingly coming to have to probably get closer, with the concomitant risk of being spotted and shot back at. And I think I'm a one-shot kill for an A44. I might just survive a one-shot from the what you call it, the T-29. Oh, the T-29's gone. So the LTTB has managed to ambush the A44. Now I know that he's around the other side, so if I can keep the attention of the A44, his gun is pointing my way and not towards the LTTB, and he has a problem here that he can't face both ways, and the LTTB set his engine on fire, and that's the end of him. So we managed to clear the round there. So, I think I did reasonably well. I kept the attention at the end. We did over 3,000 damage, which is a nice piece of damage in this tank. got 614 assisted damage. I'd say mostly from that tracked shots earlier on. We came number 1 by experience in the our light tanks, not 2 light tank platoon actually. Probably carried the game as well between them. They got a decent amount of kills. That was a pretty close run match. Everybody seems to have contributed. It just looks like our top 5 had a bit of an edge in their top 5, and that's the way it goes sometimes. Thank you for watching. Please give the video a like if you enjoyed it, and if you've not already done so, please give the channel a subscription. And I'll catch you all again soon. Bye for now.